Hey guys, welcome back to Rollin' on a Budget. My name's Hannah. Today we're gonna be doing some freezer meals. So we're gonna do 6 different freezer meals and make 2 of each. So we're gonna make a total of 12 meals within about an hour. Probably less than that if you do some prep before like I did. Now I'm doing this video because I had a bunch of stuff in my freezer, in my fridge, in my pantry that I just wanted to get rid of. It's just been sitting there. So I kind of built my meal plans around that. In total, I spent about $39 for the stuff I needed. And then I'll put the total up for the whole thing if you're buying all this together. First off, you need some freezer bags, and make sure you get the freezer bags because if you don't, they can open up in your freezer once they freeze, so get the freezer ones. And then make sure you label it with the date, what it is, and then any further instructions because if you don't label it, you're just gonna forget what it is and you'll never know what it is in the freezer. So the first one we're gonna do is teriyaki meatballs and it cooks on low for 6 hours. I don't have the little baggy things, I just put them in these little pitchers in this little tub. We'll get going on that. So the first thing is we're gonna do some meatballs. This is a 32-ounce bag. So I'm gonna put 1 pound in each because it's just me and my husband and I don't need 32 ounces of meatballs for one meal. All right, so once your meatballs are in, we're gonna add a little bit of garlic, maybe about like 1.5. I minced a bunch up, about a little spoonful. And the rest of this is gonna go for another meal. And then barbecue sauce. Like I said, I had a bunch of stuff just sitting around my house that I wanted to use up. So I'm gonna put half of this bottle in each bag. Alrighty, and there's still a little extra in it, that's okay though. And then I had some bell peppers, like different color ones that I bought super cheap, chopped them up, and then I freeze them. And I was like, man, what am I gonna do this? So I'm gonna add half of this in here. I believe there's 1 red, 1 yellow, and 1 orange. So I'm just gonna split it between these 2. There we go. And then 1 can of pineapple chunks. I don't have nails, so I have to use a spoon to like open this up. But we're gonna pour the juice in here as well to add that sweetness. So I'm gonna like just add the juice first. So it doesn't splash all over me. You could do slices if you want. I just thought chunks would be a little bit better. And that is it, guys. So all it is garlic, meatballs, bell peppers, some pineapple, and barbecue sauce, and it's that easy. When you close this up, you wanna make sure you get all the air out of it. So I like to lay it down and then fold this over to try to get all that air out. And zip it nice and tight. And then I like to freeze them flat, so that way they take up a little less room in my freezer. There we go. Within like 3 minutes, we have 2 freezer meals right here. And you could easily serve this over rice. I think this would feed about 4 people. It's just me and my husband, so usually when we eat these meals, we eat it one night and then there's leftovers for the next night. So there, teriyaki meatballs. All right, guys, so the next one we're gonna do is orange glazed ribs. I ate these all the time growing up, and it's one of me and my sister's favorite things. You're gonna cook it on low for 6 hours, 6 to 8, just depending on how big these ribs are. And you can get pork country ribs with bone in, super cheap at the market or any kind of place. I've gotten them as cheap as 87 cents. I just got these ones this week for 97 cents. So never pay full price, they always go on sale. So I have about 6 ribs, and these ones are really big, which is fine with me. I'm gonna put 3 in each of these. And these do have bone in. You can buy them without the bone. They're a little bit more expensive, obviously. But I think the bone in is fine because they're just cooking slowly over a long period of time. Like, look at that, that's huge, guys. And like I said, this is for me and my husband, and this is leftovers, right, for like a few days. All right, so once we have our ribs in, we're gonna add some ketchup, and ketchup is only 2 tablespoons in each, sorry, 1 tablespoon in each. And I don't measure, guys. Oh no, I need more ketchup. Actually, it might be perfect. Perfect. All right. Then we have soy sauce. Now I'm gonna add a 1/2 cup in each. Again, I don't measure, guys. I just kind of pour it, and then when it looks good, it looks good. That looks pretty good. We like soy sauce. All right, then we have a jar of orange marmalade. Now I just put 1/2 in each. If I made a really big batch and I had like all my family over, I would use a whole jar. But since I'm cutting this into bags of 2, I'm just gonna cut 1/2 and 1/2. I know, orange ketchup, weird, right? No, so good, so good. The orange makes it nice and sweet and citrusy. It's the best. All right. Now the last ingredient that's gonna go in here is garlic. This is about 1.5 teaspoons on each. Garlic is good for the soul, guys. Garlic on everything. And that is it for this one. Once we get this zipped up, we're gonna mush it around a little bit. But this is one of my favorite ones. I cook this with the broccoli and rice, and I actually already bought the 2 bags of broccoli just so I have them ready, and then I always have rice at my house. So again, just kind of mush out all the air. And then kind of mush this around. Make sure you zip it up really good first so it doesn't go pouring out. But boom, orange glazed ribs, my favorite. It makes the best sauce to pour over your rice too. Mush this one around. Oh no. Something came out. All right. And that is it. Orange glazed country ribs, so good. Serve it over rice and broccoli and you have a full meal. The next one we're gonna do is chicken chili verde. This one is super easy. It's super good too. So once we add everything in here, you're gonna add 2 cups of water to your crock pot, and then it's gonna cook on low for 8 hours. I love crock pot meals. They're just so easy, and you know, when you're busy and you don't have to worry about dinner, it's just so nice and convenient. So the first thing we're gonna add is onions. No, we're not adding all this to both of these, but we are gonna add quite a bit. And like I said, guys, I don't measure things out. I just kind of go for it, and then I think it'll taste good though. All right, so about half of that. I spilled a little bit on the table, but it's okay. And then we have a can of chili verde, salsa verde. I have seen people put a whole can in one. I split it, and I still think the flavor is really, really good. So I'm gonna pour half in each. It's about half. You do you though. If you think it needs a whole can, do a whole can. I think a half can is perfectly fine though. Then we're gonna put 1 cube of chicken bouillon. You should always buy the cubes, they're way cheaper. We're gonna put 1 in each, and that's why you need to add 2 cups of water later on once we take this and cook it. All right, then we're gonna add a can of beans to each one, some kind of white bean whatever you prefer. Again, I'm just using kind of what I got. I don't drain these, I pour the whole thing in there because I think it thickens it up as it cooks later on. All right, and then we're gonna add a little bit of cumin to each. I don't have much, guys. Like I said, I'm just trying to use up what I have at home right now before I buy some more stuff. So I'm just gonna put half in each. Yeah, that looks good to me. Now we do have chicken. You can totally add more chicken if you would like. Again, this is what I have at home, and I'm just trying to use up what I have without buying more. Plus, we're okay if there's not a bunch of chicken in it. It's not that big of a deal to us. So I'm gonna put 1 chicken in here, and then another in this one. But like I said, you could totally add a lot more chicken than that. That's just how much we usually do, and it works for us. All right. Like I said, it doesn't look like much. We don't have kids, we don't have a big family, so this is perfect amount for us. And we usually pour this over rice, and we'll eat it with like chips, tortilla chips. And this can easily get us dinner for one night and some leftovers for the next night when you stretch it with some rice. If you don't want to add rice, then this is only about like 1 dinner for the night. And kind of mix it up a little bit. And there you have it, chicken chile verde. Again, serve it over some rice and eat it with some tortilla chips, and it goes a lot further. All right, guys, so the next one we're gonna do is a burrito bowl. This one you just add a cup of water before you throw it into the crock pot, and that cooks on low for 8 hours. I like to eat this one with rice. I throw everything on top of rice, like makes everything cheaper, right? It makes it go further. Especially when you're on a budget and you're trying to pay off debt like we are. You kind of eat rice a lot, but you put something on it to make it taste better, right? All right, so the first thing we're gonna add is the rest of that onion. This is about 1 onion, so I'm gonna put a half in each. And then any jar of salsa. So we bought this black bean and corn salsa, and I ate it with chips the other night, and I hated it. I thought it was really gross. So I thought if I put it in food and put it in the crock pot and let it simmer for 8 hours, it might taste better. So that's what we're gonna do. So I'm just gonna split this jar in half and put it in the bag. About half. And it's black bean and corn salsa, and I'm gonna put black beans and corn in here, so I thought it would kind of mask it a little bit. You're gonna put one chicken bouillon cube in each. We're gonna add a cup of water later, and that is why. All right, and then I have a taco seasoning packet, and I'm just gonna split this in half and put a little bit in each. Alrighty, and then I have a can of green chilies. I love green chilies. I think it just makes everything taste better. And this is a bigger can, I believe. This is, yep, 7 ounces. I'm not gonna drain them at all. I want the flavor to be in there, like I said, because I'm gonna top this over rice. About half in there. About half in there. All right, then the next one is black beans. Ideally, I would have done 2 jars of these, but I didn't have them. But I did have another can of dark red kidney beans, so I'm just gonna split these half and half. Again, I don't drain them because I want the flavoring and it thickens it up later on. And then I have 1 bell pepper chopped up, and I'm just gonna split this in each one. So half a bell pepper. And the last thing we're gonna throw in here is corn. So this recipe does not have meat in it, and that's fine by me. I'm not like a huge meat eater where I need meat in every single meal, so this one is no meat. And I'm gonna do half a bag of corn. All right, and that is it. Again, this one's a little bit bigger, but you top it over rice and it's really, really good. Get all the air out of that. And it's pretty much just a burrito bowl minus the rice and the meat. But you can always add meat if you want to. You could add chicken in here or whatever, and it'll be just fine. All right, and that is all for the burrito bowl. Don't forget to write on these before you start to fill them up. Add 1 cup of water and then cook on low for 8 hours. All right, guys, so we're gonna move away from our bag ones and we're gonna start doing some pan ones, which is pasta. I have so much pasta that I got on clearance or super cheap, and I need to get rid of it. Now, ideally for this one, I would probably wanna use a different noodle. However, I'm using what I got, which is elbow. So I have a bunch of elbow pasta that I need to use up, so I'm gonna just do plain pasta sauce, red sauce with mozzarella cheese. I wanted some Italian sausage ground up, but I went to the store and I couldn't find any, and I didn't want to go to another store. So I just got turkey and I ground it up, or ground turkey, and I cooked this up already, and I'm just gonna split it each. So this is 1 pound, so I'm doing a half pound in each. If you like meat and you want to do more meat, do a pound each. I just don't really care, and if it saves me a few bucks, then I'll just do a half pound in each. I have some water going now, so I'm gonna dump my elbow pasta in there and get that cooking for 8 minutes. And then we'll kind of get going on the rest. All right, guys, pasta's about to be done. So I'm just gonna hit my pans, just a little bit of spray. And by the way, if you hear a loud noise, it's the tinfoil hitting the tinfoil. So I'm trying to try not to touch it too much. You're gonna hit the bottom and the sides really good. I'm gonna pour my pasta right into it. Actually, I'm gonna put a little bit of sauce down below though. All right. And I'm just gonna do half in here, half in here. Oh no, I can't see, guys. And glasses are fogging up now. And there's some on the pan still, so I'm gonna try to get this out. Alrighty. All right, so I'm gonna add the rest of the sauce to here and kind of mix it up and get it all mixed up. About a third can just in case, but I don't know, we might need it. We'll see. Yeah, we'll pour it in here. We like it saucy. All right, I do have the ground turkey. I'm gonna put half in here. Half. And like I said, you could totally add more meat, vegetables, all that good stuff to add into it to make it a little bit more filling. Pasta is a really easy dish in general, but this just takes all the work out of it doing it now rather than later. So when we go to cook this, you just pull it out of the freezer, put your oven on to 350, keep the lid on, you pop it in the oven for about 30 to 40 minutes and then take the lid off for a few minutes to get that cheese nice and golden. We'll put that on top. But super, super simple. All right, yeah, I'm glad I added that sauce to it. That sound just like great. All right, so once you get that all mixed up, try to flatten it out a little bit. And then we have some cheese to put into it. Now I'm just putting some on top. If you really like it cheesy, you could add some in the middle and mix it and then add some on top too. But I'm just gonna do some on top. Again, this is something I had like in my freezer and I needed to use this cheese up. I'm just gonna use the rest of this up. All right, and that is it. So make sure you label these tops so that way you remember what it is. Trust me, you are gonna forget. So I just let pasta cook at 350 for 40 minutes, and then I'll take the lid off for about 5 to 10 minutes so that cheese gets nice and golden brown. All right, guys, this is our last one we're gonna do. I just call it Veggie Alfredo. We don't put any meat in this. This is one of my husband's favorite, but we just put California vegetables in it, pepper jack cheese, Alfredo sauce, and pasta, and that's it. It's super simple. So let's get the pasta boiling, and that'll be about 8 minutes, and we'll spray these off now so we don't forget to do that so it doesn't stick. All right, guys, let's throw the pasta into the boiling pot of water. I have a full bag, and then I just have this, so I'm just gonna use what I have up. All right, guys, the pasta's done cooking. I'm gonna pour it into our containers. And you could totally add some kind of meat to this. Like I said, we don't mind not eating a bunch of meat all the time. So I think this is fine without it. But you could add chicken or something like that to this. All right. So I just pour a jar of Alfredo sauce into each one. And I'm just going to leave that in the corner so hopefully more comes out. And then a bag of, we did the California mix into each one. If you want a lot of veggies, you could even like double this too. And then I don't put this on top, I mix it in because it just adds some flavor to it. So I'm just gonna do half a bag on each side. There. Some more sauce. All right. And then you just mix this up. Dip the sauce all over, the cheese all over. You have to put pepper jack cheese on it because it adds a little bit of a spice to it. I'm not a big fan of spicy food, but this isn't spicy. It just has flavor. So pepper jack cheese adds a little bit more to it. Super yummy. All right, guys. So once we're done mixing it all up, make sure you label your pans. Veggie Alfredo, cook at 350 for 40 minutes. And then you can turn off if you want to get the top crispy, but there's no cheese on top. All right, guys, that's it. That took me less than an hour, maybe an hour with some prep time in there because I cut some stuff up and I got everything out. It's about an hour to do 12 freezer meals. So we have our burrito bowl that goes great with over some rice, the teriyaki meatballs that also go good over rice, orange glazed ribs that go good with rice and broccoli. Everything goes good with rice, guys. Chicken chili verde goes good with rice, and some tortilla chips. We have just normal like red sauce pasta with some ground turkey. I would have wanted sausage, but they didn't have it, so ground turkey it is. And then some veggie Alfredo with some pepper jack cheese. That is it. 12 meals within 1 hour. For me, it only costed me $39, and I'll put the price of the full up on the screen right now for how much it would cost if you had no food and you bought all this at the store. And if you like this video, don't forget to hit like and subscribe and comment below if you've done freezer meals and give me some good recipes so I can try these out too. I enjoy freezer meals. They're great to do on busy weekdays. Just throw in the Crockpot in the morning and kind of forget about it. So give me your recipes. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Rolling on a Budget. See you later, guys.